All right, so top players not wearing orange. We kind of went over a
Good.
bunch of these. I basically went over a bunch of these, except for the offensive line because it was just kind of. To be honest with you, Al, I just picked some. Really, I just
Uh,
did. I just did.
that's fair.
All right, so start with quarterback. Who you got?
Yep.
Best Atlantic player not wearing orange. Well, I say not wearing orange, but we have orange in
Not
the
wearing
Syracuse
Clemson
art.
orange.
So not wearing Clemson uniform. What do you got for quarterback?
I have Michael Cunningham from Louisville.
Yeah, I have the
Yeah,
same
I
one.
don't think there's really any debate there.
Yeah, I mean, who else is up there? I mean, you could say Leary if he has a
Sam,
good season.
maybe. I would say Hartman would be up there possibly, but
Hartman, yeah.
going by last year, it's Mikel Cunningham.
Yeah, going by last year for sure. Hartman and maybe Leary would be up there. Maybe Blackman if he turns some things around. I know people were talking about that transfer from Notre Dame, though, that might take over for sure.
Right.
Running back, I got a guy you mentioned. I think you're going to mention this too. Javian Hawkins, who's second team All ACC, 117 yards per game, better than Travis Etienne.
I actually went with Zonovan Knight here from NC State because I like his potential there. I think he was underutilized. I think they're going to really give him the ball a lot this year.
I was just really thinking you were going with Hawkins there. Nice to see you go with Knight there. For wide receiver, I would be interested to see who you're. If you don't pick this guy, you got to pick the other guy. I think in my mind, but Sage Surratt, Wake Forest, first team All ACC, number one in average yards per game at 111 yards per game, better than Clemson's best, which was 8th in the ACC. So number one wide receiver returning at Wake Forest.
I went with the same thing actually. So I mean, he's big play guy, so he's going to make a lot more plays this year.
And, my second pick would have been like Tutu Atwell. You mentioned him earlier, too. He's another good guy for sure.
Yep.
Tight end. This is a guy we really didn't talk about at all, but he plays for BC. He was the third team All ACC, and he's returning Hunter Long for BC. 39.2 yards per game average. And for receiving, he was in the top 25, I believe, as far as yards per game.
Yeah, ditto. I actually had the same one. Man, you're doing pretty good at this so far.
I can read numbers. Now, if you put them together,
add them, just read them.
Yeah, if you put them together with symbols in between them and an equal sign, I get kind of confused when you start doing that. But offensive line, I straight up guessed. I just used the All ACC rankings there. But Ben Petrulia or Zion Johnson from Boston College. Petrulia. I don't know if I said that right, but both were second team All ACC guys, and they're Boston College guys, so I got to give it to them.
Yeah, exactly. I did the exact same thing. I went Ben Petrula as well because they're Boston College, big beefy boy from Boston College. I mean, he's got to be. And I went, second team All SEC, I think, like you said. So yeah, I went with him as well.
And this is another guy for Wake Forest. So this is my second Wake Forest guy for defensive line, which we kind of lumped offensive line and defensive line together because we knew this was going to be a longer show, so we wanted to kind of keep it moving. But Carlos Basham Jr., first team All ACC, 11 sacks in 2019 from Wake Forest.
Yeah, I went with Carlos Basham as well. I debated between him and Marvin Wilson from FSU. Again, Wilson put up some pretty good numbers at defensive tackle, not in. So I'm pretty impressed with him. But yeah, I went with Basham as well.
And really the only player from Syracuse that got in the All-ACC, I believe, other than like a special teams player. For linebacker, I've got Lakeem Williams, third-team All-ACC, 110 tackles total ending out the year. I believe he was like in the top 5 of the ACC in total tackles for a linebacker.
Yeah, I went with Max Richardson from BC. I talked about him earlier in the day. Like his stats, like the fact that he returns for the Eagles, kind of be one of those guys, kind of cement the middle of the defense for him. So I went with Mr. Richardson.
So you said you kind of went out there. Who'd you say?
Max Richardson from BC.
All right, and then to close it out, we just did kind of secondary. I just went ahead and picked cornerback. A team that definitely has some pretty good cornerbacks is the Florida State team. Asante Samuel Jr. looks like he's returning, or he's at least a junior, I believe, and he's third team All-ACC and got a lot of hype behind him. Obviously, his dad was really good too. So,
yeah, not too shabby there. I actually went with Andre Cisco from Syracuse. He's a DB with him. I mean, hard hitter, real, ball hawk kind of guy, likes to be real physical out there. So I think he's going to do some good things this year.
Yeah, I like that. It's interesting to say there are some Syracuse dudes out there. It's just not on offense right now, but
right.
So we got a good coverage there. We got some LSU, LU guys, some Louisville guys, some Wake Forest guys, some Boston College guys in there. Did we skip any teams? Did we miss anybody? I talked about a Florida State guy, Wake Forest.
Yeah.
We didn't say an NC State player, did we?
Zonovan Knight, I had him
You
at running
said
back.
NC
I don't.
State.
Did we have did you pick anybody from Florida State?
Did I picked Asante Samuel.
Oh, that's okay. So I think we covered everybody.
So that's good. That's good that we covered everybody because I didn't cover NC State and you did. So that's a good job there.